It is that time of year again, the Red River Rivalry, which has become my favorite rivalry game in all of college football. 95% of the time, this game is one of the most exciting games of the season, and this year looks like it's going to be no different as both teams enter the game ranked in the top 25. I've actually been to Red River, and it was such an amazing atmosphere and unlike anything I've ever been to. This is the story of the best rivalry in college football. But before we get into this, if you enjoy college football content like this, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, let me know what rivalry is your favorite in the comment section below. Let's first meet our teams. Texas began playing college football in 1893 and have an all-time record of 953, 392, and 33 as a program. They have won 33 conference titles across the SIAA, TIAA, Southwest Conference, and Big 12. They have 4 claimed national titles, winning their most recent title in 2005. They are currently led by fourth-year head coach Steve Sarkisian, who led Texas to their first Big 12 title since 2009 and a spot in the college football playoff last year, where they lost to Washington to finish the season 12-2. The other loss last year was to Oklahoma in last year's matchup. This year, they are led by quarterback Quinn Ewers and famous backup Arch Manning, who have both gotten playing time so far due to Ewers getting hurt a few weeks ago, but he's expected to play this week. They are currently 5-0, beating Colorado State, Michigan, UTSA, Louisiana Monroe, and Mississippi State, all in blowout fashion, winning by an average score margin of 45-7. They are currently the favorites to win the SEC and make it back to the college football playoffs. Oklahoma, on the other hand, started playing college football in 1895 and have an all-time record of 948, 342, and 53 as a program. They have won 50 conference titles across the Southwest Conference, Big 8, and Big 12. They have won 7 national titles, with their last coming in 2000. While Texas struggled throughout the 2010s, Oklahoma thrived under Bob Stoops and Lincoln Riley, going to the college football playoff 4 times in 2015 and 2017 through 2019. Yet they have struggled since the departure of Lincoln Riley, which saw their roster gutted. They are currently led by third-year head coach Brent Venables, who led Oklahoma to a 10-3 record last year, where they lost in the Alamo Bowl. Venables is 1-1 in Red River and currently has Oklahoma sitting at 4-1 this year. The expectations for the Sooners this year were not as high as they were for Texas. They were expected to struggle in their first year as a member of the SEC. They survived an upset bid by Houston and got run over by Tennessee a few weeks ago. They survived the matchup against Auburn, winning the game because of a pick-6 and late field goal. They replaced Jackson Arnold with freshman Michael Hawkins at the starting quarterback position, who has more of a running ability. Oklahoma is beating teams by an average score of 28.6-16 per game. Their defense is strong, but there are a lot of question marks around their offense, and their wide receiver room has been decimated by injuries. To have a special game, you need to have a special stadium, and the Cotton Bowl fits the game perfectly. The Cotton Bowl is located in Dallas, Texas, and is one of the centerpieces of the Texas State Fair. The outdoor stadium opened in 1930, with its original name being named the Fair Park Stadium. The reason for the Fair Park name was because of the state fairgrounds the stadium sat on, being known as Fair Park. The stadium was built to replace the old wooden fairground stadium. The stadium has played host to the SMU football team, the Cotton Bowl Classic, the First Responders Bowl, the Dallas Texans, and the Dallas Cowboys, and hosted games during the 1994 FIFA World Cup, among numerous other sporting events. During the 1940s, Doak Walker ran wild in the Cotton Bowl, with the stadium earning the name the house that Doak built. He had developed such a following that the Mustangs had to move away from their usual stadium to play in the Cotton Bowl, and the stadium quickly expanded its seats to meet the demand of the spectators. An honorary plaque hangs at the Cotton Bowl main entrance that reads the Cotton Bowl, the house that Doak built. The stadium changed names in 1936 to the Cotton Bowl and played host to their first ever Cotton Bowl on January 1st, 1937. The Cotton Bowl Classic was founded by Texas oil executive J. Curtis Sanford and financed completely out of his own pocket. TCU took on Marquette in the first game, and although 17,000 people attended the game, Sanford still lost money on the event. In 1938, the game turned a profit in front of a crowd of 37,000 people, and over 40,000 people attended the game the following year. In 1948, the stadium increased its capacity from 67,000 fans when they added a second deck on the west side, and a second deck to the east side the following year, bringing the capacity up to 75,504. Cotton Bowl was the site of the first game played by the Dallas Cowboys in September of 1960, and they played there until 1971 when they moved to the Texas Stadium. The Cotton Bowl would lose the bowl game in 2010 when the game was moved to Jerry World. There are some fears that Red River could move to Jerry World down the road, which I would hate to see. Cotton Bowl was renovated in 2008, expanding the seating capacity to over 92,000 fans by fully encircling the upper deck. I've been to the Cotton Bowl Stadium for Red River and it has been one of my favorite stadiums. I've been to multiple neutral site games before and have hated most of them, because it's just not the same as a regular home stadium. But when it comes to the Cotton Bowl, that experience was amazing. The first matchup to ever take place between Texas and Oklahoma occurred in 1900 in Austin, Texas. They would play annually from 1900 to 1917, and Texas would win the first 4 matchups before a tie occurred in 1903, followed by Texas winning the next 2 matchups. Oklahoma would beat Texas for the first time in 1905, and they beat the Longhorns 2-0. When the game took a year off in 1918, Texas held a 12-7-1 record in the game. They would play again in 1919, 1922, and 1923, but then would have a 6-year break. When the game returned in 1929, it was their first time playing in Dallas, where the game has been played since. Texas holds the all-time series lead, with it being 63-51-5, and holds the longest winning streak, winning 8 straight games from 1940 to 1947 and 1958 to 1965. Oklahoma has had the largest victory though, beating Texas 65-13 in 2003. In 1958, Darrell Royal finally broke through against former coach and mentor Bud Wilkinson with a 15-14 victory, breaking the Sooners' streak of 6 straight, 9 of the previous 10. In 1976, President Ford attended the game and saw a 6-6 tie. The main storylines was the accusation from Royal that OU coach Barry Switzer had been spying on his practices leading up to the game. Texas won on a goal line stop in 1994, and Oklahoma's Roy Williams made an insane play in 2001. The late 2000s saw Colt McCoy and Sam Bradford duel it out. 2018 was the first matchup since 2012 that both teams entered the game ranked, and led by sophomore quarterback Sam Ehlinger, Texas took a 45-24 lead with a minute left in the third quarter. Kyler Murray would lead Oklahoma back and scored their third unanswered touchdown with 2:38 left to play, to tie it 45-45. True freshman Cameron Dicker would kick the game-winning field goal to beat Oklahoma 48-45 and earn the nickname Dicker the Kicker. 2019 saw both teams ranked in the top 11, and Oklahoma beat Texas 34-27. 2020 saw an amazing 4-overtime game as Oklahoma upset number 22 Texas 53-45. In 2021, Caleb Williams came in and led Oklahoma back from a 21-point deficit to beat Texas 55-48 in the highest scoring game in the rivalry's history. I was at the 2022 game, which saw Texas crush Oklahoma 49-0. The 2023 iteration featured the first undefeated matchup in the rivalry since 2011. In the game, 12th-ranked Oklahoma defeated 3rd-ranked Texas 34-30 on a last-second touchdown pass to Nick Anderson. The game recorded 7.8 million viewers, the most since 2009, was attended by SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey. The game has seen its name change multiple times, but has always been known as Red River, due to the river that runs between the states of Oklahoma and Texas. There was also the Red River Bridge War in 1931, which only intensified the rivalry. The game was formerly called the Red River Shootout when first created, but pivoted towards the SBC Red River Rivalry for the 100th game in 2005 in an attempt to distance itself from gun violence. The matchup between Texas and Oklahoma became the AT&T Red River Showdown in 2014 when SBC, the original sponsor of the game, merged with AT&T. When Allstate became the sponsor of the game last July, they moved back to calling it Red River Rivalry. Oklahoma Athletic Director Joe Castiglione said, "Our annual iconic matchup with the Longhorns each October features more than a century of tradition between our two programs, so it's fitting that we revive the rivalry name. On the field, we're certainly arch rivals, with both our teams bringing fierce competition year after year. Allstate is a strong supporter of OU athletics. We're in good hands with them as our Red River Rivalry title sponsor. Red River is such a special rivalry, and I'm so happy I got to experience the game a few years back. I'm hoping to get back out there again, and this time I hope it's a closer matchup. What do you think? Is Red River the greatest college football rivalry? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out one of my other videos YouTube thinks you will love right here. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, remember to embrace the grind.